All right, time for the recap. Um, incredible, incredible. The spectacle was there. The fucking military people that were in the crowd, ballers. You guys made it not an Apex event, pretty much. That's if the crowd was a bunch of political dudes who just wanted to watch gladiators in front of the White House, it would have looked cool, been a terrible atmosphere. It looked cool and felt cool. You know what I mean? Those military people, love you. Love the military. Just saying. Real quick, I have to say something. And I'm probably gonna ramble about this for a while, and it might even be its own separate video. The people that are making this a political thing have half a point to make. Because although it is true, without Donald Trump, none of this would be possible. All right? Joe Biden wouldn't do this. No other president from the 20th century would do this. And that's a fact. And I'm okay with that fact, all right? I am by no means a Donald Trump lover, but here's where I have to separate politics. I'm not even a political guy. This is where I have to separate politics, sports, and entertainment and kind of combine it into one. And the people that want to hear that like are arguing about this, like the very leftist people that watch every Trump fucking move ever made and comment about it and be like, oh, see, he's gonna die. Anyway, the reason that UFC fighters are thanking Donald Trump and all this stuff is because they know that this event is going to be the biggest, the most watched UFC event of all time. Until now, like up until this point. And the fighters that get the ability and get the privilege to show their skills to that large of an audience. Look at Justin Gaethje today, all right? Justin Gaethje. A lot of people in the combat sports, in the sports world, most of them know about Justin Gaethje, right? A lot of people that are not sports fans, that are sports ball people, that are fucking the worst. A lot of people that are not into sports and wanted to watch this card to see how much of a disaster it'd be for Trump. If they're watching this with an open mind, which I know they're not, you saw Justin Gaethje put on the greatest performance possibly of all time in the UFC history. That man was like a fucking plus 500 dog. Dominated, lost one round. He kind of got smoked in that round, but he lost one round out of 4 and made the number 2 pound for pound guy quit on the stool. He said, no mas. I'll get to that later. But like, the fact that you're making it something bigger than it is. Yes, there is some shady stuff that happened behind the scenes, like Trump owning a bunch of the sponsors and having stake in whatever. I don't fucking care. Today we got to see absolute fucking cinema wrapped up with a UFC bow on it. This had nothing to do with left ring, right ring. It had to do with left hand, right hand, and fucking combinations. And all I can see on my timeline is shit like this.
Currently in my living room watching this UFC event at the White House. Here it is on your screen. For those of you who are not tuned in or will not tune in at all, I've been writing down every insane and surreal shit that has happened so far on my television, so you don't have to watch. First and foremost, just to get this out of the way, this is not a sporting event. And to be clear, there are fights happening, there are combat sports that are happening, but this is not about sports. This is about the celebration of one man. You guessed it, Donald J. Trump. From the very beginning of the production, the focus and the feature has been on the president. It has been on Donald Trump, from his walkout with UFC president Dana White to his front row seats to UFC fighters, multiple of them at this point, calling him out and shouting him out and giving him praise and love and adoration. One in the second fight even went over and shook Donald Trump's hand for about 30 seconds and said, "Thank you, Mr. President, because without you, this never would have happened."
And then also, like, these people act like fucking Donald Trump owns the UFC. This video, I'm going to show you right here. He calls Josh Hokett Donald Trump's fighter. First of all, Donald Trump's fighter is Derek Lewis. Everybody knows that. He got decimated. Fucking dick down. On the White House lawn. That should be a federal crime. He got ripped.
One of Donald Trump's UFC fighters just screamed, "Michelle Obama is a man," into the microphone after winning his fight at the White House. Just incredibly disgusting.
And he has the audacity, the gall to call him Donald Trump's fighter. That's just not true. That's just not true. Half of the guys on the card aren't even from this fucking country. Was this a celebration of Donald Trump's birthday? Yes. Was this fucking a once in a life? Imagine this. Imagine if Italy was like, hey, we're going to put on a UFC fight in Rome, right? In the Colosseum. Do you think, just because it's like a holy site and like, I don't even know if it's a holy site, if it's like a relic of time, that they're going to be like, no, it's a once in a lifetime, once in an ever opportunity to put on a grand spectacle of sports entertainment on which the likes the world has never seen before, and you're going to turn it down because you don't want to fucking desecrate some dead bodies? That's what we had the opportunity here at the White House. It is an opportunity to put on a sports entertainment fucking spectacle with real athletes, with some of the best of the best, to ever lace up the gloves, to ever go into a gym, to ever work out, to ever fucking breathe. These are the greatest athletes ever. Alex Pereira was trying some shit that nobody would ever fucking think to do. He failed, but it had nothing to do with politics tonight. And if you watch the fights, if you went there to with an open mind to watch the fight, see what happened. There are some people that watch the UFC for the first time today, and they're like, "This Ilya guy is insane. He's 17-0, hasn't lost a round, and he just got decimated." And the doctor's like, "He can't fight," and he's like, "No, I'm fucking fighting," and then quits. You want to make it about fucking politics? My goat Juliana Pena would never stand for that. On to the fights. Ooh, I got heated there. I'm not a political guy, but like, and that's why I'm trying to take politics out of it. This was one of the greatest fight cards. Yes, it was only 7 fights, and I think that's what made it so great. Let's talk about this. Next pay-per-view, next numbered event, we are going to have maybe 15 guys that are unranked fight. Not all 13 fights next month are going to be bangers. If you knew ball, and I said this 3 months ago, no, I said this in January when this shit was announced. If you know ball, you know this is going to be the greatest 6 to 7 fight run the UFC will ever have. Diego Lopez, fucking, my God, I am a fucking genius. Run the clip. Official prediction is Diego Lopez by second round knockout. Consider shit walk the fuck down. Diego Lopez looked tentative in the first round. He couldn't find his flow. Zero rhythm. Steve Garcia, he was bobbing, he was weaving, he was in and out, he was smooth. He looked like a top 10 guy. He looked like he could beat Diego Lopez, and I was like, holy shit, he's gonna fucking whip his ass across 3 straight rounds and go home as the number 2 guy in the featherweight division. Like, this is impossible. And Diego Lopez puts his lights all the way out. All the way out. I mean, I fucking called it. What can I say? And, yeah, Diego Lopez showed why he is a guarantee for cards like this. When you go to the Sphere, when it's UFC 300, when it's the brightest lights, Diego Lopez is your guy. Because he will always put on a good performance. And you can say that about everybody in the card. Not Bo Nickel and Kyle Dawkins. We'll get to them later. But you can say that about everybody in the card. You're going to see something spectacular that you're going to tell your friends, dude, you see that? That's fucking crazy. Because what Diego Lopez today, that was crazy. That picture he got in front of the White House, cinema, not political. It is a fucking goated picture. Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine in 1970 if they had a WWE event on the White House lawn, and you saw Andre the Giant hold up the belt in front of the White House? You know how fucking awesome that would be? But no, you want to be bitch, not political. Kyle Dawkins, Bo Nickel. I'll tell you what though, Kyle Dawkins was moving, and he was throwing. He got a BS stand up, and Bo Nickel fucking put his lines on. I called him trash on the feet, and my words have officially been 8. Bo Nickel should be looking towards the top 15, top 20 guy. He looked fucking great, honestly. Once again, it is Kyle Dawkins, but Kyle Dawkins, this last, since he got back to the UFC, has also looked great. So what can I say? Oh, it's a bogus win against Kyle Dawkins. No, Kyle Dawkins looked great. Who knows? Kyle Dawkins can go on to fight someone and look great again. But we can't deny that Kyle Dawkins right now was better than when he left. And that Kyle Dawkins right now, maybe not right now, but right now, is a better opponent than somebody like a fucking Val Woodburn. Who? Good win for Bo Nickel. I'm proud of him. Not really. I kind of want to see it fail, but I'm proud of him. I'm proud for him. Roofy Chandler. I said Roofy could kick this guy's fucking head clean off, and he almost did. He almost knocked his fucking block off with that spinning wheel kick. Gets the knockout. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's kind of what we expected, and for the most part, this card, it was a lot of, we expected that. We expected Bo Nickel to get the job done. We expected Diego Lopez to get the job done. We expected Roofy to get the job done. We expected Josh Hockett to get the job done. Where the fun was these guys that they're facing, they do pose serious threats. Derek Lewis does pose a serious threat. He didn't really today, but he can. Kyle Dawkins sometimes can pose a serious threat. We saw that in those last two fights. Steve Garcia poses a serious fucking threat, and we saw that. We saw it. He's piecing them up in the first round. So that's where the fun came in for me as a diehard fan, because I know these guys pose serious threats. How can these guys overcome them? Josh Hockett said, "Fuck you," and did it. I'm not going to talk about his post-fight speech because that was incredible. But Michelle Obama's a man. Anyway, didn't know that. News to me. But whatever Josh Hockett says is true, because he said he was going to come in there and fuck Derek Lewis up, and he fucked him up, dude. Josh Hockett is one of the most polarizing... Josh Hockett has some of the most polarizing skill set at the heavyweight division right now. He's 230, lean, fast. He doesn't have a lot of pop. You know what I mean? He's like the Max Holloway of the heavyweight division. He will eat you up with volume. He can take you down. He can stuff your face onto the canvas for 5 minutes straight, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he can also light you up for 80 significant strikes in a single minute, like in 5 minutes, and there's nothing you can do about it. Him versus Gon Pereira, Volkov, Tom Aspinall. These are interesting matchups now. At first, it was a pipe dream. Him versus Curtis Blades was a war. The Josh Hockett I saw today would have starched Curtis Blades in 30 fucking seconds. Josh Hockett just keeps getting better and better, and he is incredible. This malarkey of don't let him touch a microphone because it's great. I fucking love it. I love it. Sean O'Malley. This is another one where I was like, I don't know how much of a threat to finish Sean O'Malley he is, Ayman Zahabi. But a threat to beat Sean O'Malley, Ayman Zahabi was, to an extent. Slick movement. Awkward style. Clinch heavy. These are stuff that can rattle Sean O'Malley. Absolutely not. I feel like the running leg kick kind of was rattling him a bit. Like, it got into his head, like, dude, stop doing that. And he was trying to time it so much. And unfortunately for Ayman Zahabi, he did it so much. Sean O'Malley was able to time it. Clean left, clean 1-2, the salute, the walk-off. You couldn't even see it. It took them like 5 replays for me to see the salute, which at least I got to see it. But that's cold. That is cold. Our white boy's cold. The 80 grand people in the eclipse, bonkers, dude. Those videos, it's like watching those like World Cup watch parties, dude. They're just people on people on people going nuts. And it was awesome to see. Those people didn't give a fuck about the politics. Those people cared about the fucking fights. This isn't political. The co-main event. First of all, so I watched this fight with my brother, my 3-year-old nephew, my sister-in-law, and my grandma. And technically my like 2-month-old nephew, but he's 2 months old. He's not gonna remember this. My 3-year-old nephew, he might. Anyway, so my grandma, she was like, I noticed how their walkouts are longer and longer as the car went on because they're showing like more of the house and like all this stuff. And the way they brought the White House through the screen, through the walkouts, was magnificent. Fucking magnificent. For a second, I was worried if Poetan was going to hit the all the way from the Oval Office to the balcony to the octagon to But when he got to the balcony and he screamed, I was like, holy shit, he's not losing. Roll the clip.
To it. Oh, trouble. Oh, big elbow. Bad. He's hurt real bad. Stop the fight. He's in. That's it.
He lost. And I was kind of right in my assessment. Whoever got hit clean first and started backing up was going to lose. Alex Pereira got hit clean first, and he started backing up, and he lost. He did look slow. You want to know how he really... I feel like... And I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to have to give John Jones credit here. I was giving him shit in the last video because I said Poatan is going to do what it took fucking John Jones 3 years to do, and that's bulk up to heavyweight and win and dominate. And I was completely wrong. Because Poatan did not look fresh. He looked muffin top. He did not have a six-pack. He did not look ready. He did not look fight ready. He was still kind of fast. He definitely had pop. But he was not fight ready. Cyril Gane, dude. Incredible. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Once again, this is like my politics now. Were those back of the head shots? Some of them. Was Cyril Gane trying to hit him in the back of the head? No. Does this moment inherently make Cyril Gane a dirty fighter? No. Is the stuff Cyril Gane has done in the past, along with this, makes him a dirty fighter? I'm going to give you that one. Because, yes, it's every single fight. Yes. Does he try to do these things? No. But it's happening. Okay? And it's unfortunate. Alright? But Cyril Gane looked phenomenal. It was the same Cyril Gane that came up to fight Tom Aspinall and was piecing him up and then poked him in the eye. And that's unfortunate. But at the same time, that Cyril Gane is a monster. That Cyril Gane is possibly the best heavyweight in the world. There's 3 guys that can claim, I'm the best heavyweight in the world. That's Cyril Gane, John Jones, Tom Aspinall, and Francis Ngannou. I forgot number 4. That's 4 people that can claim they're the best heavyweight in the world. Something's got to happen. I can't tell you it's John Jones because he's not active. He's not a heavyweight. He's not a fighter. I can't tell you it's Francis Ngannou who's not in the UFC. He's not fighting the best competition. So it's either Cyril Gane or Tom Aspinall. And I need to see this man back. Fuck the politics. Fuck Eddie Hearn. Give them the bag. Do it in Paris. I want 13,000 French dudes screaming at the top of their fucking lungs with a world title at hand. That's what I want to see. Make it happen. I don't give a fuck that it's a fight night. It's free anyway, if you have the subscription. Make it happen. Main event of the evening. Walkout cinema. Justin Gaethje staring at the Declaration of Independence. Whoa. Cinema, right? Ilia Topuria. Great walkout. The walkout's phenomenal. The first round, Justin cut him up bad on the eye. And I thought this could be a problem. Ilia hasn't really faced adversity like that. You know, when you see your own blood for the first time, you know, he hasn't really faced that adversity. He's gotten knocked down plenty of times. You saw Jai Herbert knock him down. 1-0 Gaethje. Second round. You can argue a 10-8. I will disagree with you. Let me explain. Ilia Topuria comes back. The first couple minutes, back and forth action like we saw in the first round. And I felt like Ilia was getting the better of those exchanges. He starts digging to the body, ripping to the body. Drops him bad. Honestly, I thought the fight might have been stopped. Not could have been stopped. I think it would have been a bad stoppage. But the fight probably might have been stopped. Mark Goddard was taking the world's closest look with a fucking microscope and almost called it. And I thought he was going to. But then Justin Gaethje started to hold him on the ground. Ilia couldn't really get his offense going, his ground and pound going. So he started going to submissions. Went for an armbar. Went for a triangle. Changed that into an armbar. He was flowing on the ground. Flowing. Round's over. The reason I wouldn't give Ilia round 2 a 10-8 is because there was back and forth in the front in the start. Not a lot of ground and pound after he dropped him. And none of the submissions really threatened. Really threatened. One of the arm bars was close. Round 3, Justin comes back, drops him. Kind of drops him, but catches him on the way down. And like puts him in a clinch. Gets him down to the ground. Starts beating him up on the ground a bit. And it was bad. It was bad. Ilia, obviously you see the pictures of his face. It looked terrible. Goes back to the corner. And they're like, we're going to stop the fight. And they're like, no. Ilia's like, dude, you can't do this to me. No way. And Mark Goddard's like, I'm not going to let you stop this fight. Mark Goddard. Everybody loves Mark Goddard. Fourth round. Gaethje up 2-1. Fourth round. Gaethje just kept putting it on him. And this is what I love about Ilia Topuria, and why he will always be one of my favorite fighters, and I will tune in whenever he fights, even if he's fucking 55 years old and senile. He finds a way to make you believe. He was getting fucked up. 1, 3, and 4. And I'm like, he still got it. He can still bang, 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 rip, 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 body, head, knock you out unconscious. He has that ability. He can do that. And I don't know if I forgot who said it on the commentary, but they brought up a phenomenal point. Justin Gaethje has fought for 55ers and has fought at 55 for hours inside the octagon. Ilia Topuria has done that for 3 minutes leading up to tonight. Phenomenal point. And that showed. Justin Gaethje puts him back down, hits him with a body knee. Devastating body knee. Ilia goes to the corner, and for a second, I thought he was saying, I'm finishing this fight. Like, I don't care what's going on. I don't care how bad it looks. I don't care what the doctor says. We're going to a 5th. But I think something happened where they're like, no, you're finishing this fight. Like, we're done here. And it kind of felt like a no mas moment. Like, Justin Gaethje put a bad beating on. I don't think Ilia could have came back and won in that 5th round and knocked him out. I don't think that was going to happen. I think it only would have got bad for Ilia Topuria had there been a 5th round. And I truly believe that. After seeing 4 rounds, one of which go to Ilia Topuria, I thought Justin Gaethje was outclassing him. Simply outclassing him. And I said he shouldn't even show up to the octagon. I eat my words. And I sincerely apologize to Justin Gaethje and his entire family. Because he put on a masterclass like no one ever thought it could be done against Ilia Topuria unless your name ended in Ov. And that is why Justin Gaethje is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. 10 out of 10 event. Not political.